Namaste, welcome everyone. My name is Kassandra and I'm going to take you through a full body yin yoga practice paired with affirmations for hope and peace. I don't know about you, but those are two things I know I could definitely use a bit more of in my life. So if you've been feeling a little bit ungrounded, a little bit stressed, a little bit depressed and anxious, I really hope that this practice can give you a little bit of comfort, some reassurance, and to help you cultivate a sense of inner well-being and inner peace. You are totally fine to do this class without props. However, if you have blocks, if you have bolsters and blankets at home, you might want to have them somewhere close by. So we'll be doing swan pose or pigeon pose. That's usually one that people like to have props. If you have them, grab them. If not, really do not worry about it. So before we get into our first pose, we're just going to start by grounding. Take a seat and close your eyes. Find some length along your spine as you soften your shoulders away from your ears. And tune in to how you're feeling in this moment. Physically noticing if there's tension or discomfort. Noticing mentally where your mental health is at right now in this moment. What emotions might be present within you. And throughout our practice, I'll really encourage you to stay anchored with your breath. Taking deep inhales and deep exhales in and out through your nose as a way to soothe your nervous system, to help clear your mind, and to also keep you in the present moment. So not focusing on what has happened, on what may happen. Right now, during our practice together, let yourself be here now. This is your time to heal, to find a sense of harmony, to focus on hope, and to feel a bit more at ease. So take the next 10 breaths here to set an intention for yourself. This can be a word, a sentence, a feeling. One intention of something you'd like to focus on, to cultivate, put your energy towards. Breathe into your heart space. Bring some softness to your facial muscles. And join your hands together, Anjali Mudra, at the front of your heart. And we'll open our practice with the chant of Om one time. You can listen or join in. We'll inhale to chant. Big breath in. Om. And opening the eyes, let's make our way into Sphinx pose, laying on your belly, forearms and palms down on the mat. And if you haven't chosen your intention just yet, don't worry about it. Hopefully the affirmations we work with will help you decide what you want to put your energy towards. And think of pulling your heart forward, rolling your shoulders down and away from your ears, and almost pushing a little bit into your pubic bone so that there's plenty of length in the low back. And we'll be doing one affirmation per pose. All you need to do is listen to the affirmation, internally repeat it to yourself a few times, and notice what comes up for you as you repeat it. Without judgment, just be open to the insight you receive. Our first affirmation: I choose to be gentle and kind with all beings, including myself. I choose to be gentle and kind with all beings, including myself. Holding this pose for a few minutes, internally repeating your affirmation. I choose to be kind and gentle with all beings, including myself. Release your chest down towards the mat. You can push your hands into the floor to lift up your tabletop pose. And we'll move into baby dragon, which is simply a low lunge. You can step your right foot forward in between your palms, making sure that your knee aligns over your ankle. I like to do this one by keeping my hands low towards the mat. Some people will prefer to get a little deeper into it by bringing the hands up onto your thigh. Just make sure it's not too much for your low back or for the front of your hip. You can also have some props underneath your palms if you have those close by at home. So we're trying to melt the hips forward and down, minimize the tension in your shoulders and in your neck. Slow, steady breaths. In this moment, I release thoughts of worry. I am present. In this moment, I release thoughts of worry. I am present. Relax any tension around your facial muscles. Let gravity do the work for you here. Start to push into your right heel in order to send your hips back. And before we go to the other side, it might feel good just to sit and kneel, taking a few breaths here, pausing between each side just to notice what has come up for you, what you feel in this pose from one hip to the other. Always returning to your breath and connecting to your intention for hope and peace. And we'll make our way into baby dragon on the other side. So this time your left foot steps forward. Your knee is on top of your ankle. Feet are about hip width distance apart or so. And place your hands wherever is appropriate. And one side might feel completely different from the other. This is very normal. Just soften through your pelvis, relax your upper back, unclench your jaw, and internally repeat the affirmation, I have faith in the innate goodness of people. I have faith in the innate goodness of people. Notice your mind beginning to wander. Bring yourself back to this present moment. Follow the anchor of your breath, of the affirmation, or of the physical sensations in your body. I have faith in the innate goodness of people. Push into your left heel, ease out of this pose, coming back to where we were, sitting on the heels. And just feel the effects through the front of your hips, into your thighs, into your low back. And we'll focus a little bit more on our upper body, making our way into melting heart. So coming back on hands and knees, keep your hips stacked over your knees and just walk your hands forward until your forehead lowers down towards the floor. And you can relax your arms, just looking for a nice stretch in your shoulders, in the back of your arms, in your upper back, in your chest. Keep a little bit of engagement in your low belly. So melting heart, as the pose suggests, we are trying to fully relax our chest down towards the mat. So soften the space between your shoulder blades a little bit more with every exhale. And our affirmation here is, I calm my nervous system by taking deep breaths. I calm my nervous system by taking deep breaths. Take your time to come out of this one. Walk your hands in. We'll go back to focusing on the lower body, setting ourselves up for Swan pose, which is really pigeon pose. So targeting the outer hip and glute. You can bring your right knee behind your right wrist. And square off your hips so you're not leaning on one hip more than the other. You might put a block, a bolster, or a blanket underneath your seat if you feel like it's a little too much to be sitting up tall here. And try not to worry about where your right foot ends up. So I have my shin parallel to the top of the mat just because this works for my hips. But at home, you might have your heel a lot closer in, and that's totally fine too. So try not to force yourself into a deeper variation of a pose, especially in yin, because we're going to be here for a few minutes. And then think of reaching your heart forward and then down. Placing your hands maybe under your chest or under your forehead, giving yourself some support here. And as much as possible, relax your body and let yourself melt into the pose. And in this pose, our affirmation is, when challenges arise, I stay anchored in hope. When challenges arise, I stay anchored in hope. And go slowly and mindfully, lifting your way up and out of the pose. And you can come back into a tabletop stance. It might feel good to stretch your right leg back. Really, no need to rush this here. Feeling into the release from this pose. Now we'll go to the other side. It might be completely different, either easier, maybe a little tighter. So really ease into it at your own pace. Left knee aligns behind your left wrist. And remember, don't worry too much about where your left ankle ends up. And extend your right leg back behind you as you try to square off the hips. So not rolling over onto your left glute. You want to keep some of your body weight in that right leg and right hip. Think of leading with your heart. So find a nice extension and then fold on down. Maybe using your hands under your forehead or under your chest for a little bit more support. And our affirmation on this side is, I have a big heart, and that's a wonderful thing. I have a big heart, and that's a wonderful thing. Breathe into it. Make any adjustments that you need to make to find some stillness in the pose. Try not to rush the exit. Keep breathing here. Your transitions are just as important as the poses themselves. And we'll come back, tabletop pose, maybe to take those same hip circles or stretching that leg back. And we're going to lower down on our backs, setting ourselves up for reclined butterfly pose. Soles of your feet together, knees apart, and lowering all the way down. And you can place your hands wherever feels the best here. It might even feel good to stretch your arms up overhead if you're looking to expand and broaden through your chest and upper back. We'll let your legs be heavy. Closing your eyes. And here internally repeating, my strength comes from my ability to dream of a better future. My strength comes from my ability to dream of a better future. Relax into the pose a little bit more with every exhale. If you had your arms up overhead, you can slide them back down. With the help of your palms, you can lift your knees back up and through to center, and take a few moments just to widen your feet and let your knees fall in towards one another. So doing an internal hip rotation after that deep external hip rotation. And let's set ourselves up for happy baby. You can start bringing your knees in towards you here, keeping your knees wide towards your shoulders. Maybe this is enough, or you can hold on to your big toes or the soles of your feet, stacking your ankles over your knees. Push your tailbone down into the floor so you're not lifting your hips off the ground, and use your elbows to press your knees and thighs open a little bit wider while also dragging them down. Lots of length in your spine, and focus your breath down into your low belly in this pose. So feel the belly button lift up as you inhale and soften back down as you exhale. Our affirmation here is, I am never alone, and I reach out to others when I need support. I am never alone, and I reach out to others when I need support. Try to relax your legs so it's mostly your arms doing the work here. And breathing in and out through your nose. And let's release. We're coming into Savasana, our final resting pose It might feel good to take a few moments, letting your knees drop from side to side, releasing any tension from your lower back. And then opening up through your arms and legs, letting the feet flop out to the sides. Shrugging your shoulders down and away from your ears. Letting go fully in this pose. Tuning in to our last affirmation. My thoughts, words, and actions are all grounded in love. My thoughts, words, and actions are all grounded in love. Begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle fingers and toes. Turn your head side to side. And you can reach your arms up overhead, stretch it out. And we'll turn, lifting up, and take a seat. And place your right hand over your heart, left hand over the right. And just connect here with your own inner center for hope, for peace, and for love. Connecting once more to the intention you set at the beginning of class, or clarifying it now. And imagine you can take this love from your heart, pour it into your palms, and join your hands together, Anjali Mudra, prayer at the heart. And as if you could send out this prayer of love, of hope, and of peace out into the world, we'll do this through the vibration chant of Om. Inhale to chant, big breath in. Bowing forward, namaste. Thank you so much, yogis, for doing this yin yoga practice with me. Please let me know how this went and what came up for you. Leave me a comment and let me know what your intention is. If you're new, do subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos multiple times a week. And if you'd like to stay a little longer on your mat, I would recommend doing this meditation right here. An excellent one to follow this practice up with. Thank you again. Namaste.